It's easy for us to tell others when we're really good at doing something, but it's a little bit more difficult when we have to discuss what we don't do very well. In this video, I want to cover one of the interview questions that seems to stumble many candidates, and that is, tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses. Hi, my name's Jessica Fiesta George. I'm an HR and talent acquisition professional. During this time that I've been quarantined and furloughed, I've been helping candidates just like you get better prepared to get back out in the workforce. In this video, which is part of my interview series, I'm going to cover the one interview question, tell me your strengths and your weaknesses. This interview question actually has two parts. The first part being, tell me your strength, and the second, tell me your weakness. So it's really important that we take a look at how to answer each of these separately so that you can answer with a little bit more confidence. There's no one else out there that knows you better than you. Many candidates fall into the trap of being too modest, or they don't highlight their strengths well enough in order to sell themselves. Remember, when you're asked this question, you're in control of the conversation. Only you know what you can bring to the table. Let's break down the best way to approach this question, and that's going to start with being prepared.
Take a look at the way the employer has written the job description. What are the skills and position highlights? Take note of those keywords and then match your experience or training to those words and be prepared to share a few examples. Next, it's time to take a closer look at the skills that may be listed within the job description. Pick your top skills that you feel strong and give examples of how you have applied that strength in the past. It's always best to be self-aware, so always try to keep notes of your strengths and weaknesses. Let's go ahead and start a list. On the next screen, I'll give you a few examples to get started. On the screen, you'll see several generic skill sets that many job descriptions tend to have. Try to keep your list more personal as it applies to you. Now, if you're stuck and don't know where to start, use this list as a good way to get you started.
Depending on the time constraints that you may have during your interview, make sure that you don't give a laundry list of attributes to the employer. Try to focus on your top 3 to 5 strengths and making sure that you can directly relate your strengths to the position, and then be focused and offer relevant answers to how you can bring those attributes to the company. Now it's time to focus on the second part of this question, which is tell me your biggest weakness. Now this is where candidates always seem to get a little bit nervous because it's never easy to answer what you don't do very well. In this answer, employers are looking at how you've been able to learn new tasks and new skills, as well as how self-aware you really are. Now, this is where a lot of that preparation that you did earlier is going to come into play. So let's break down how to best approach this question. Tell me your biggest weakness.
Make sure that you come across as honest and sincere as possible. Take a look at the way the job description is written again. Is there something listed that you don't have much experience in? Although you've not had much experience, what have you done to learn that new skill? Answering this question has 4 parts. State your weakness, give a related situation, how are you working on it, and what are you doing to overcome it?
Hopefully you could take a lot of these tips, but I also want to share with you some of the things to also keep in mind.
Make sure that you come across as honest and sincere as possible. Be prepared and just be honest. You don't have to be very vague and give generalized statements. Remember, employers want to hear your actual experience. It's not the time to ramble and go overboard. Nobody is perfect, so don't pretend that you are. And don't discuss weaknesses that can make you look unfit for the job. Remember, a weakness is not a personality trait. It's not a strength in disguise, and it is not a part of who you are, but something that you can work on. Come to the interview prepared. Think of one current and one past weakness and have a story to tell about each. Another way to approach this question is to practice by using the following lead-in statements you'll see in the next screen. In situations where, and then make sure you insert your weakness, I have tended to, and then provide specific examples. That has made me appear as if I'm not, and then insert the trait. I have recognized that this is not a strength of mine, and I insert your solution and then what your outcome is.
In the short amount of time that we've been together, I hope that you were able to gather some helpful tips in order for you to better answer the question, tell me your strengths and weaknesses with just a little bit more confidence. Remember, this is a part of my interview series, so keep coming back to my channel where I'm going to cover a little bit more. But if there are other interview questions that you want me to address, make sure that you put a comment in that box below. My name is Jessica Fiesta George. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and again, thank you so much for watching. Like, please share, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me. I'm your quarantined and furloughed job coach, and I'll see you very soon.